Hello, welcome to another interesting sessions of Advanced Level General English. We all know that all of you are very busy in gaining knowledge in your three core main subjects. Still for all, you cannot neglect English. So it is the subject that will help you in your further higher studies as well as you join a profession. So let's go to our lesson, reading comprehension. Let's look at it. Let's look at the following quotes. So you will be able to guess what the topic of our lesson is. The first quote, when you step expecting people to be perfect, you can like them for who they are. The second, a real friend is one who walks in when the rest of the world walks out. Next, never love anybody that treats you like you are ordinary. Choose your relationships wisely. It's better to be alone than to be in bad company. The most beautiful thing is to see a person you love smiling, and even more beautiful is knowing that you are the reason behind it. Pain will leave you when you let go. People are lonely because they build walls instead of bridges. Friendship is always a sweet responsibility, never an opportunity. Peace is not absence of conflicts, it is the ability to handle conflict by peaceful means. So I am sure you have guessed it correctly. So our title today is relationships, and our topic is what are relationships? It is relationships. What are relationships? Look at these visuals. People in love, dancers, young people are discussing things with their bosses. Families enjoying together, having good times. Okay? Some of you want to be like this. Enjoy your life being together. I'm sure you are familiar with these pictures, and I'm sure some of you are dreaming to be like this someday. I hope that your dream will come true. Okay, let's go to our lesson. Turn to page 57 of your textbook. You have an essay on relationships, and this is a long essay. It consists of 9 paragraphs. Check the first paragraph and the last paragraph. They are important in an essay. Introductory paragraph and concluding paragraph. Introductory paragraph introduces the topic, while concluding paragraph summarizes the essay. So let's go to this long essay on relationship, about 9 paragraphs. Introduction. This is the introductory paragraph. It talks about relationship. It introduces our topics very clearly and describes it. Relationships can be described as connections we share with other people. So this is the introductory paragraph, and it introduces our topic very clearly. Let's look at the conclusion. Concluding paragraph, always we said they are summarizing. They are summarizing what has been said before. So once you come to the conclusion, it's a long paragraph here, but it also says whether they are close or distant, new or old, positive or negative. Relationships are a natural part of our lives. And then when it comes to the last sentence, it says, therefore, we all need to make connections of whatever type with each other. Let's go to our task. First activity is a pre-reading activity. Providing subtitles. So you have 7 paragraphs. So we are expecting you to provide subtitles to each paragraph. In handling a subtitle, you always look at the first sentence or second sentence, then you can get the subtitle. I have given you subtitles. I have given you 7 subtitles. So have a look at it and then we'll try to match these subtitles to the paragraphs. First one, distant relationships, kinds of relationships, a special relationship, growth of relationships, friends throughout lives, romantic relationships, the closest relationships, good relationships and bad relationships. So which one do you want to read first? I'm sure many of you want to read about romantic relationships. Okay, let's go and see what is the first paragraph is talking about. For the moment we are born, we form very close and loving relationship with our mother and father. We also have very close relationship with other family members like our brothers and sisters and our grandparents. What do you think, which is the most suitable title out of all this? Growth of friendship, romantic relationship, the closest relationship. You have time to do it. Just let's look at it. What is the suitable title? The closest relationships. That is where you get close to with your family members. Okay, second paragraph. We continue to form new relationship with throughout our lives. Close bonds we share with our friends can be formed as children, as teenagers, or as adults. So when come to the last paragraph, when come to the last sentence, when you leave school, you will continue to make friends whether you go for higher education or for a job. So that is the truth. So friendships are important. Let's see what is the subtitle for this paragraph. Friends throughout lives. So you have friends throughout your lives, friends from the kindergarten, in the high school, in university, and at your working place. Next paragraph. A significant part of our lives as we grow older is the close relationships that we form with our life partners. So we come to a very important part of your life, finding a life partner. According to such cultures, one must be in love in order to marry. According to some other cultures, however, marriage can precede love. So I have a question, which one you prefer? Okay, let's look at the title. A special relationship. So the friends relationship that you form at this age can be very special relationships. Good. Relationships are not always close. For example, our relationships with some of our teachers and our principals can be quite formal and distant. So we are talking about the relationships, people you meet in school level, in your religious level. So they are not very close. We will probably share with our employers when we enter the world of work. These relationships are similar to the distant relationships. So let's look at what is the subtopic. Distant relationships. Distant relationships that you will always have in your real life situations. Next paragraph. Relationships can be positive or negative. Positive relationships can be very loving and nurturing, and on the other hand, you have the other kind of relationships. Being with someone who disrespects us or always criticizes us can be bad for us. So what is the subtitle for this? Good relationships and bad relationships. So as children, as young adults, you should be always try to have good relationships, but still for all, bad relationships also can be a part of life. Let's go to the next one. Sometimes relationships can develop very quickly. Often even two people are attracted to each other. Their relationship can change from being acquaintances to lovers very quickly. they can grow more distant and end altogether. So they can be lovers at one time, but they can still get distant and end their relationship. Topic: growth of relationship, growth of relationships. I think the last paragraph, when a romantic relationship begins, it can make us feel very happy and alive. Okay, on the opposite, we feel heartbroken, as if life has lost all meaning. So what is the subtopic we can go to? Romantic relationships. So romantic relationships are not always very successful, but they still give us some kind of experience to life. Okay, that was the end of our pre-reading activity, and I am sure that you are familiar with our text relationships. So we are going to go for our while reading activity. Now read the first 5 paragraphs of the essay and answer the questions below. Our task is matching the correct word with the expressions. Match the word or the expressions with the correct meaning, the grammatical category of each word as it is used in the essay is also given. So we are going to match the word with the expressions. Let's look at the table. First, let's have a look at the words formal, an intimate relationship, a romantic relationship, significant, to form a relationship. First 5 words. Next, probably, respect, to be in love, to fall in love, distant, to precede. Let's go to the table. We have, okay, these are the first 5 words, word or expression, meaning in context, to start or to develop a relationship, likely, important, extremely close, sexual, to get or start getting very strong feelings of romantic love for someone. Shall we look at the words? Probably, respect, to be in love, to fall in love, distant, to precede, formal, an intimate relationship, a romantic relationship, significant, to form a relationship. Let's go to the table and try to match the words with the meaning in context. To start or to develop a relationship. Okay, what is the closest word that go with this meaning? To form a relationship. Likely, very likely, or probably. Okay, the answer is probably. Important, what is the word that is given in? Significant. That was a significant moment in my life. Important. Extremely close and sexual. What is the word or expression? An intimate relationship. Intimate relationship. To get or start getting very strong feelings of romantic love for someone. What is your guess? To be in love, to fall in love. Let's go to the other 5 words. Those 5 words are also very interesting and they are very meaningful in the context of this passage. Words 6 to 10, the word 6 is to come before, to come before. 7th, official, serious. 8th, not close, reserved, not friendly. 9, admiration, to have high opinion of someone. Not close, reserved, not friendly, more than a friendship. Let's try to find the answers to these meanings. To come before, to precede. Official, serious. Formal, the relationship with your masters or your teachers can be very formal sometimes. Not close, reserved, distant. I had a distant relationship with my many relatives. Admiration, respect. So you are supposed to respect your teachers, and some of them say respect your teachers at all cost. Not close, reserved. What kind of people they are? A romantic relationship, not friendly, more than a friendship. It's a romantic relationship. So these are the 10 words that we matched to the expression and the meaning in context from our passage, relationships. Let's go to our next exercise. Very familiar context, very familiar exercise, whether they are true or false. Are this statement true or false in the context that is given? Okay, let's look at these 6 sentences. We can be close to our family members, but not to our friends. We can make friends only when we are adults. We can make friends at school and at places of work. Formal relationships are shared by people who dislike each other. According to some cultures, husbands and wives should hate each other. We have an interesting relationship with our partners. True, false. I think some of the answers can be given to us by without looking at the book itself. Let's look at the answers. We can be close to our family members, but not to our friends. Is it true or false? What about your experience? Are you only close to your family members, not to your friends? Okay, let's look at the answer. That's false, because sometimes you can be very close to your friends also, being young adult. We can make friends only when we are adults. Do you agree with this statement? No, when you have friends from your kindergarten, you are still enjoying with them. So the answer is false. We can make friends at school and at places of work. If you talk to your mother or father, you may have come to know that they have a lot of good friends at their working places. So we can make friends at school and at place of work. True. Formal relationships are shared by people who dislike each other. They dislike each other, but still they have relationships. Maybe the principal and the teachers, maybe the boss and the workers. What do you say about it? That is true. According to some cultures, husband and wife should hate each other. What do you think about that sentence? Husbands and wives hate each other? I don't think any culture advocates something like this. According to some cultures, so that is false. We have an interesting relationship with our life partners. What do you think about it? Though you have not experienced life partnerships, but what do you think about it? Yes, that is true. So these are the exercises we did on true and false statement from the text relationships. Now we read the rest of the essay. Again, we are going to do an exercise, reading the rest of the 4 paragraphs and find the meaning of the words. Let's look at it. So these are the first 6 words. Hope you are familiar with these words by now, and they are highlighted in the text. You can easily find it. Abusive, in isolation, self-esteem, positive, the very opposite, negative, altogether, a blessing, depression, to demonstrate our affection, acquaintances, nurturing, to disrespect, over the course of time. Let's go to our exercise. Word or expression and meaning. First 7 words. Why don't you do it now? We already did one similar exercise like this. Try this. I'll give you a few minutes to do it. Number 1, good, beneficial, bad, damaging, taking care of, helping to develop, something that brings extreme happiness and luck, being violent in words or actions, the opposite of respect, belief in your own abilities and value. I think I have given enough time, and I'm sure most of you have found the answers for these words. Let's look at number 1. Good and beneficial, positive. Good and beneficial, positive. Number 2, maybe the opposite of that, bad and damaging, negative. Some people are always positive and some people are always negative. Taking care of, helping to develop. So that's some good quality that you should develop as a teenager. Nurturing, taking care of, helping to develop. Number 4, something that brings extreme happiness and luck, a blessing. So we have a famous quote, a blessing in disguise, and sometimes they begin to say it when we were going through the corona period and corona time. They sort of say it's a blessing in disguise for some students. Next, being violent in words and actions, abusive. So sometimes you may have heard that you complain about your friend that he used abusive language. Being violent in words and actions, so you must always avoid this kind of words and actions. The opposite of respect, disrespect. As I said, respect your teachers at all cost. Don't disrespect them, because they are also human beings. They also get hurt by that your behavior. The last word, belief in your own abilities and value. That's a good word. Self-esteem. Belief in yourself, your abilities and value is self-esteem. Okay, let's go to the next 7 words. A mental illness caused by stress and anxiety. During. Number 10, people you know but you are not friends with. Completely. The complete opposite, to show or to display, to be alone, far away from other people. So we already did 7 words, and 8 remaining words you can match. A mental illness caused by stress and anxiety. So I'm sure you're familiar with these words. Many of the time people are telling about these words, and they go to see the doctors when they have this condition. Depression. I'm sure none of you are depressed during your examination time. Okay, during, over the course of time. People you know but you are not friends with. Are you not friendly with some people? Acquaintances. Completely, altogether. To complete opposite, the complete opposite. The very opposite. I'm the very opposite of my brother, you may say. I like indoor sports and activities, but my brother wants to be inside. So we call very opposite. My brother is very opposite of myself. To show or display. To demonstrate our affection. To show or display. The last word, to be alone. Far away from other people. In isolation. Some people like to be in isolation, far away from other people. They want to be by themselves. Okay, so we completed these 14 words. Let's go to our next task. Read the questions and find the answers to them in the last 4 paragraphs of the essay. So now look at the last 4 paragraphs of the essay. Have a look at them and try to answer these questions. And the technique is that you read the question and read the text and try to get the answer from there. We have 5 questions. The first question is, what kind of relationships can bring us happiness? Happiness that we always want. What is bad about abusive relationships? Now you know the word of abusive and you may be able to guess by where is the answer. Do relationships always develop at the same speed? Or are there relationships that you develop very quickly? And are there relationships that you develop over the period of time? Number 4, friends will always remain friends, nothing more. Find the sentence in the essay that either agrees or disagrees with the statement. So you have to find the sentence and say whether you agree or disagree with this statement. What kind of relationships can affect our emotions? And the 6th question, can human beings generally live on their own, in your opinion? Give reasons for your answers. So you have to tell the answers and give reasons for these answers. So take a little time, look at the 6 questions and try to find an answer. Number 1. Okay, question 1. What kind of relationships can bring us happiness? Happiness can be brought by positive and loving relationships, kind of relationships that you have formed with your parents and with your friends and your relatives. Okay, question number 2. What is bad about abusive relationships? Now you know the word abusive and you may be scared to use that word even. Abusive, because it is harmful and damaging to your self-esteem. You know the meaning of self-esteem. Self-esteem is the value that you have placed of yourself. So abusive relationships, they would always harm your self-esteem. They will run you down. They will condemn you. They will not say anything positive of you. They will always talk about negative things of you. Let's go to question 3. Do relationships always develop at the same speed? Speed and relationship. What do you think? Do you form relationships at the same speed or do they take a different form? No. Some are developed very quickly and others over a period of time. And what kind of relationships you like most? Do you like the relationships that are developed very quickly or do you like the relationship that take period of time? Question 4. Friends will always remain friends, nothing more. Find the sentence. Okay, I'm going to help you to find the sentence. Paragraph 3, the sentence begin with when you leave school and the rest of the sentence. The question is, find the sentence in this essay that you can either agree or disagree with this statement. Friends will always remain friends. What do you think about it? Will your friends at this high school, at your A-level class, will they be always same? What is your experience? What about your friends that you had when you were in grade 5, grade 6, grade 7, grade 8? Have they changed? Or whether they have not changed? You may have various answers and you may say, some friends have changed, some have not changed. Okay, let's go to question 5. What kind of relationships can affect our emotions? Emotions? You feel happy, sad, depressed. What kind of relationships? The relationships that develop very quickly. Let's go to the question again. What kind of relationships can affect our emotions? Emotions, we people are emotion beings. Human beings are emotion beings. We feel sad, we feel happy, we feel depressed, we feel that we can't do anything. So the relationships that develop very quickly can be very emotional. Last question. Can human beings generally live on their own? In your opinion, give reasons for your answer. Can human beings generally live on their own? In your opinion, no. Human beings cannot live on their own because we are social beings. We naturally want to be connected with other people. We naturally want to be with set of people whom we like. So we are social being. All social, as a result, we want to be with other people, whether they appreciate us so, whether they criticize us, still we want to be with other people because we are social beings. Human beings cannot live by themselves, as sometimes we say, a man is not an island. Man is not an island. He is a social being. He needs people. Okay, so we answered the questions that we selected from the last 4 paragraphs. Let's proceed to the next exercise. So now we have completed reading the all 9 paragraphs. First 2 paragraphs, introductory paragraph and concluding paragraph, and then we had 7 more paragraphs in this essay describing various aspects of relationships. So let's look at this last exercise after reading. So I'm sure after reading this text, what are relationships? You are thorough, you have got yourself knowledgeable about relationships. We live on relationships, we thrive on relationships. We cannot live without relationships. So let's go to answer these after reading question. This you have to say whether you agree or not and try to give the reasons also. Do you agree with the statements below? Try to give reasons. First one, we have 3 statements here and we have almost 8. Okay, let's go to the first one. I am closer to my mother than my father. Your personal opinion. What do you think? What is the answer that you can give after knowing about relationships? I am closer to my mother than to my father. Okay, I am sure that you are forming an answer in your mind. You cannot tell it to me, but you have to tell it to your neighbor or somebody you are seated with. Or if your mother is with you, you can tell the answer, whether you are closer to your mother or closer to your father, and give the reasons also. And I know very well what is the answer that is going to be given by many of the girls and the boys. Okay, second one. My best friends are the ones I made in primary school. Do you agree? Or you don't agree? My best friends at the moment, now you are in the advanced level class, age 18, 19. So do you still have your grade 1 friends, primary grades, grades 1 to 5? Do you still connect with them? Do you still find them very close? They are your intimate friends, or are they still your buddies? Okay, the best friends are the ones I made in primary school. Agree or disagree? Sometimes you may agree, because some schools children enter grade 1 and they finish in grade 13, there is no change. But some of you have left schools after scholarship. You went to first school, you went to second school. So there may be, your opinions may be very personal. Number 3, there are no cultural differences when it comes to falling in love. Oh, very interesting topic, falling in love. Any human being can fall in love whether their culture allows it or not. Okay, think about your own culture. Now we have 3 main cultures in our country: Sinhalese, Tamil culture and Muslim culture. So do we go beyond these cultures, or do young people fall in love among Sinhalese and Tamils, Muslims and Tamils, and Muslims and Sinhalese? So that is what they are asking. There are no cultural differences when it comes to falling in love. Falling in love is easier than staying in love, so be careful. So our culture is one obstacle for this action of falling in love. So there are no cultural differences when it comes to falling in love. Any human being can fall in love whether their culture allows it or not. So answer is with you. Think about your own situation. 4. So you have to say whether you agree or not agree. Only young people fall in love. Old people don't understand love. My goodness, what a statement. What do you say? Maybe, I'm sure all of you are laughing and saying, yes, they don't understand. Only young people fall in love. Then what about your father and mother? They still love you. They still want to care for you. Especially girls, you may see your mother still want to be with you, even your higher education and after the marriage also. So this tell only young people fall in love. Old people don't understand love. I think for me, I disagree. I say old people understand love much more deeper than the young people. So young people's love, we always say romantic love. Okay, only young people fall in love. Old people don't understand love. So tell me your opinion. Number 5, I will never marry for money. Good statement, whether you agree or not. Will you marry the rich boy or will you marry the farmer's son? I will never marry for money. What do you think about it? When it comes to marriage and money, so comparison is between marriage and money. So which one do you choose? The rich boy or the rich girl, or the young beautiful girl living in the village? So that is your opinion. I will never marry for money. So you may have a lot of reasons why you want to marry. Of course, that is another subject. But still, for all, the statement is, I will never marry for money. Have you formed any opinion on that? Marriage and money? Have you ever seen the connection between that? Okay, you are young adults, 18 and 19. You may have formed ideas about it. I will never marry for money. Good. Number 6. No marriage is perfect. Perfect. 100% correct. No marriage is perfect. I don't know whether this question is too much for you all, young people of 18 and 19. No marriage is perfect, but still you can give your opinion through your own experience in looking at your elder siblings, your cousins, or your own family. You can tell whether the marriages are perfect. Perfect, 100% correct. Okay, so your opinion, no marriage is perfect, whether you agree or not. Number 7, if you are in a bad relationship, you should break it off. So our topic was relationships, and we talk about enriching relationships, bad relationships, and what is going to happen with bad relationships. And we learned the new word, abusive. Sometimes your bad relationships can be abusive. So when you are in a bad relationship, the first thing is for you to understand that I am in a bad relationship. So if you come to understand that I am in a bad relationship, you should stop that relationship. That is my opinion. If you are in a bad relationship, you should break it off. You should get rid of it. You should come out of that relationship. Agree or disagree. Bad relationships. So you can define bad relationships in many, many ways. But still, for all, if you take the literal meaning, bad relationships. Opposite of that is good relationships. So you should be in good relationships, not in bad relationships. If you come to understand I am in a bad relationship, you should break it off. That is my idea. Last one. Sometimes imaginary love is better than real love. Okay, we have two kinds of love here, imaginary love and real love. Imaginary love, Love in fantasy, you would say imaginary love. So you imagine you see a beautiful film and you see a beautiful film star, and you imagine that you are in love with that film star, and you want to watch more and more movies that film star is acting, or you want to collect more and more pictures of her, or you want to collect more and more pictures and paste it in your room because you are in love with this person in an imaginary manner. So, but statement says sometimes imaginary love is better than real love. So, imaginary love and real love. So, we have to distinguish between the real love and the imaginary love. So, imaginary love is something that is in your mind in fantasy, but real love, the love that you are experiencing at home, being with your mother and father, being with your siblings, with your cousins, real love, that is beneficial to us. So, that is what we did after reading activity. So, I wanted you to give whether you agree of these statements and why you are not agreeing, and give reasons for your disagreement of these statements. To whom you are close to, your father or mother. My best friends are from the primary school. There are no cultural difference when it comes to falling in love. Only young people fall in love. I never marry for money. No marriage is perfect. Bad relationships, you have to break it. And the imaginary love than the real love. I would say you can write a nice paragraph using these ideas. You can select one topic and write a very good composition. I would say at this stage, write a one paragraph. I will never marry for money. Imaginary love is better than real love. Or no marriage is perfect. I'm closer to my mother than to my father. Right? That's a good topic for you to write a paragraph. I am closer to my mother than to my father. So, write a paragraph about it, giving reasons why you are closer to your mother than to your father, or why you are closer to your father than the mother, maybe 5 to 6 lines, 5 to 6 lines with the introductory sentence and a concluding sentence. So, after reading activities, so I think we have covered our lesson for today. So, lesson summary, the things that we learned today under the topic, what are relationships? What are the skills that you gain through this lesson? You read the text and you chose subtitles to the paragraphs. Remember, we chose subtitles for 7 paragraphs with a lot of new vocabulary, new words. Match the meanings of words or expressions in context. So, we learned more than 15 words, all of them are new words, and some of them may have for the first time that you learn. Match the meanings of the words or expressions in context. Then you engaged in an exercise of finding whether the given statement, given sentences are true or false according to the text. And at last, just before the lesson summary, you did the exercise on agreeing with statements or not agreeing with statements. So, we have come to the end of our lessons. I'm sure you learned many things and reading comprehension. So, goodbye, stay safe.